I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about UFC Welterweight champion Belal Muhammad is asked on if Kamaru Usman or Shavkat Rakhmonov gets the next UFC Welterweight title shot. Newly crowned UFC Welterweight champion Belal, remember the name Muhammad, sees the merits of facing both Kamaru Usman or Shavkat Rakhmonov for Belal Muhammad's first UFC Welterweight title defense. Okay, so we're going to get straight into the article. We do not have any time to waste. Now, you can see this is a ESPN MMA on YouTube interview, so I cannot play any of the audio. I will leave the link in the description. We are just going to read a transcription of what Belal Muhammad said. During a recent interview for ESPN MMA on YouTube, while in Abu Dhabi for Saturday's UFC Fight Night, Belal Muhammad reflected on his championship triumph in Manchester and looked ahead to what could be next for Belal Muhammad inside the UFC octagon. Belal, remember the name, Muhammad acknowledged the benefits that would come from fighting one of the UFC welterweight division's all-time greats in Kamaru Usman for Belal Muhammad's first title defense, but Belal also reiterated his desire to take Shavkat Rakhmonov's undefeated record and add a L to that record. This is what Belal, remember the name, Muhammad said. Any one of them, Usman, obviously, I think for legacy, Belal said. Usman's one of the biggest names in the UFC welterweight division. Usman is still under GSP, and I think Usman still got tread in the tires, even though Usman lost that close third fight to Leon Rocky Edwards and then a really close fight to Hamzat, is it the Wolf? Is that his nickname? The Wolf? Hamzat Chimaev last, I think that was October in the middleweight division. I think name value, Usman has the bigger name, but also I want to fight the boogeyman, Muhammad continued. The boogeyman that everybody says can beat anybody, is going to walk through anybody. I know after beating Leon Rocky Edwards, who's they? I guess he's talking about MMA fans, I guess. That's the they. They would say, well, Shavkat Rakhmonov would walk through Belal. Belal can't do that, what he did to Leon Rocky Edwards, to Shavkat Rakhmonov. I am Belal Muhammad, and I am just going to keep doing it. Dana White, you just got to give me the time and the date, and I am ready to go. Okay, so that's the article. So Belal Muhammad basically says both of them, right? Basically, you can see Usman and Shavkat Rakhmonov sent a tweet to Belal Muhammad about his victory over Leon Rocky Edwards. I do want to preface this by saying I am a MMA casual, but I do want to give my opinion as far as who do I think should be the first opponent for Belal. Remember the name, Muhammad. It's a very easy answer. The answer is Shavkat Rakhmonov. Shavkat Rakhmonov, 17-0, 100% finish rate. All of his 17 fights, all of Shavkat Rakhmonov's 17 fights have either ended in a TKO, a KO, or some type of a submission. So Shavkat Rakhmonov has a 100% finish rate, undefeated in the UFC. It seems pretty obvious that Shavkat Rakhmonov should be the number one contender when it comes to who Belal Muhammad fights next. Now, my opinion about Kamaru Usman obviously is an all-time great in the UFC welterweight division, but Kamaru Usman is on a 3-fight lose streak. You know, he got head kick knocked out by Leon Edwards. Then he lost to Leon Edwards in a unanimous decision victory, right? And then Kamaru Usman lost last year. He hasn't fought. Kamaru Usman has not fought in 2024, but Kamaru Usman lost last year to Hamzat Chimaev in the middleweight division. So I don't really know what's going on with Kamaru Usman. Shavkat Rakhmonov, Hamzat Chimaev and Robert Whitaker have a middleweight fight scheduled for October. So we don't know what's happening with Kamaru Usman. If Kamaru Usman wants to be a backup fighter for that fight will keep you or put you in middleweight title contention. Or if Kamaru Usman decides to come back to the welterweight division, he has names like Ian Machado Gatti that Kamaru Usman could fight. Kamaru Usman could also fight someone like Jack Della Maddalena, right? That's a good fight. I don't like the idea of this, Kamaru Usman fighting, like, let's say, Shavkat Rakhmonov for the number one contendership. I'm not crazy about that idea. Like I said, Kamaru Usman is on a 3-fight lose streak. I think it would make sense instead of having him fight like a number one contender, have him fight someone like Jack Della Maddalena. Even though Ian Machado Gary is also undefeated, his last performance over MVP, Ian Machado Gary needs a victory or two before he gets back into the title contention. And then we have to look at Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards coming off a five-round loss to Belal Muhammad. Does Leon Edwards fight again this year? His last fight before Belal Muhammad was last December. He fought last year. Leon Edwards did fight twice last year, so I wouldn't be surprised if Leon Edwards does come back before the end of this year, maybe in a fight in November or December. You got the John Jones card, and then you have the free card at the end of the year in December. So, if Leon Edwards does come back, Leon Edwards could fight a Jack Della Maddalena or a Ian Machado Gary, right? Those are really good fights. I don't think Leon Edwards should fight MVP. We're not there yet. But a Jack Della Maddalena or Ian Machado Gary, one of those two fights would be good. I do want to mention right now, if you look at the UFC Welterweight division, the champion, Belal Muhammad, number one contender, Leon Edwards, number two contender, Kamaru Usman, I think he's still ranked in the Welterweight division, number 3 contender would be Shavkat Rakhmonov. Number 4 contender would be Colby Covington. And number 5 contender, Jack Della Maddalena. None of them are scheduled for fights. So there's a lot of pieces you could move around. They're all ready to fight. I think Ian Machado Gary came off a victory, like a month ago versus MVP. So by the end of this year, we're going to get a lot more clarity as far as the UFC welterweight division. We also have to mention Colby Chaos Covington, who lost last year to Leon Edwards. We haven't seen Colby Chaos Covington in this year in 2024. Last we heard from Colby Chaos Covington, he was calling out everybody in the lightweight division. Colby Covington called out Dustin Poirier recently. Colby Covington called out Charles Oliveira recently. Colby Covington called out Islam Makhachev recently. I don't know what's going on with Colby Covington. Michael Chiesa called out Colby Covington after Chiesa defeated Tony Ferguson, and Chiesa wants to fight Colby Covington for something he calls the king of the Pacific Northwest. I don't know what the hell Chiesa is talking about. But, it says a lot about Colby Covington. Where's Colby Covington in his career if he's being called out by unranked welterweight fighters? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you look at all the top-ranked welterweight fighters, all the top ranked ones, none of them are really talking about Colby Covington. Even Belal Muhammad, he's like, good luck to him. But Colby Covington, he's not in the championship conversation. You saw even Donald Trump recently was asked, who's your favorite fighter? And Donald Trump, who Colby Covington's claim to fame has always been, I am Donald Trump's favorite fighter. Donald Trump said Khabib Nurmagomedov. So Colby Covington is taking a lot of losses. Who knows what's going on with Covington? I don't know who is next. I have no idea who Covington's next fight could be. Is it a Wonder Boy? Is it an MVP? Is it a maybe the winner of Burns versus Brady or something like that? I don't know, but who knows what's going on with Covington. But let me know your opinion of this story. We have a lot of, like I said, all 6 of the top 5 ranked welterweights, none of them are scheduled for a fight. So there's a lot of fun MMA MMA matchmaking we can do in the UFC welterweight division. Let me know your opinion of this story, because I am a MMA casual, so what the hell do I know? I am Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about UFC welterweight champion Belal Muhammad was asked on who does he prefer, Kamaru Usman or Shavkat Rakhmonov, for his first UFC welterweight championship title defense. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button. And please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.